Well, hello and welcome back, and to another month. It's now the 1st of October today, and I don't know, as I always say on these videos, I don't know quite where September went. Perhaps somebody could tell me, but it's gone anyway. And we're on to the 10th month. It's absolutely incredible, isn't it? You know, it's there's a real feel. I'm losing the light this evening. It's been really windy here today, and it was just too windy to try and come out and make a video. As you know, I do have that problem. As you can see, we had our really first wet night or afternoon. It absolutely lashed it down with rain here yesterday afternoon and most of the evening and on into the night. And so the poor petunias, which were still looking very well, don't look quite so good now. But I'm delighted with how the annual plants have done. I mean, they do. Often people think our annuals, you know, are poor value for money. But it just shows you, some of these have been flowering since the end of May, the vast majority of June. But even so, I think that is, you know, really good value. And as I say, with the warm and the dry, as long as if you've been able to keep them watered, they have really, done fantastically this year. So yeah, here we go on into October. There's a real feel to autumn. We went out on a walk yesterday again, and I went blackberrying. There's a real sign of autumn. Some of the trees around here are beginning to turn, and we've had one or two quite cold nights when it's been down to sort of 4 and 5 Celsius. So quite cool, really. But that's to be expected now. So as you know, I always like to look at these older sayings. So I've got my book here, so I haven't learnt these off by heart this year, and some of these are quite new to me, so I shall have to read from my book, I'm sorry to say. But the first one that I thought was very good: a good October and a good blast to blow the hog, acorn and mast. Obviously, you know, referring to the fact that October can be a very windy month. I mean, here yesterday, I don't know whether you can see my cosmos behind me is all very much laid flat or bowed down. That was upright and lovely on Thursday afternoon, but with the rain yesterday we had a bit of a gale. So although that was the last day of September, you know, October can be a tremendously windy month. As you expect, you get a lot of weather coming in off the Atlantic. So the second saying, which I have heard this one, and I do know this one, by the 1st of March, the crows begin to search. And by the 1st of April, they are sitting still. By the 1st of May, they have flown away. Creeping, greedy, back again, with October, wind and rain. Crows are one of the first birds to build nests and sit on their nests, but now they're very much back in their, carrying crows, looking for anything they can find to eat. I've done a video about the willow trees in the bottom meadow to us, and since those have been planted and got established, crows, magpies and jackdaws love roosting in those trees. And this time of the year, sadly it's too really dark to get any video of it, there's huge flocks of crows, jackdaws and magpies all swooping about just before it gets dusk down into those trees, and they make a tremendous noise. Amazing. So yeah, I thought that was a rather good one. 2 days of note in October. One is St. Luke's Day, which is very prominent for me because it was the day I was born on, which is the 18th of October. And then October the 28th, one I didn't know, is St. Simon and St. Jude. So 2 days, and we often refer to weather in the middle of October or the end of October as St. Luke's little summer. When we get a nice settled, you know, quite calm, sunny, not necessarily warm, but quite pleasant weather. And as I say, that is referred to as St. Luke's little summer, and St. Luke's Day, the 18th of October. So a lovely month, I think. October can be quite, you know, it's a very much a changing month, more than September. September, the last few years, has always been like another month of summer. But obviously October, with the, you know, the nights dropping in much, you know, we get much less daytime now, obviously, and you know, you do begin, and the nights get colder, and the mornings, you know, are often, it's not light till about 20 to 7, quarter to 7 now. So you do really see that difference now in October, I think. So yes, it's a transition time in the garden for me, because obviously get more towards the end of the month, I shall be sadly pulling all the summer bedding up, you know, which is always sad, but when it's given you such a wonderful display, you don't feel quite so bad, and some of it now is getting a little bit, you know, rough around the edges because it's flowered so long and so hard. So yeah, very much a changeover point. You know, later this month we'll be looking at setting bulbs, and as I've been saying, I should be showing you what few new bulbs I've got this year. Obviously, with the way things are and the cost of things, I have certainly cut back on bulbs. But I have got a few new bulbs to plant. I've got my pansies and polyanthus and my wallflowers also to set out. So very much a transition month within the garden, and a lot of tidying up in the garden can be done in October. I'm going to do a video soon, because I have been looking maybe even before I started this little side channel to my main channel, because I didn't think gardening and countryside things really sat well on my other channel. So this was just a little bit of fun, if you like, this channel. But thank you to everybody that has subscribed and made it far greater than I ever thought it would turn into. So a big thank you to you all. I have been looking at trying to acquire, not necessarily buy, because that would be round here, that would be astronomical. You know, I wanted to go back into growing vegetables, and I'll do a whole separate video on that. And because I've had quite a challenge, and I've still not achieved nothing, but I mustn't say too much about that, because that's a video that I'm going to do and coming up about trying to find land to grow your own food on, and how you can go about it, and how difficult or easy it might be in certain areas. So yeah, I've been delighted with this season. You know, it's certainly been a challenge on some of those hot days and managing to keep up the watering. Luckily here, we have never succumbed to a hose pipe ban, so it was, you know, relatively easy, and this is a very small garden as well, obviously, so obviously that makes a great deal of difference. But I hope wherever you are in the UK, or in the world for that matter, that your garden grows well, and that, you know, you've had a good season. And I always think the autumn is really almost the start of, you know, when you, as I say, when I start to thinking about next year in the garden. You know, as I say, we're certainly looking at bulbs and the spring bedding that I shall be setting out. You know, it's gardening is always very much, you have to be on the front foot, and you're always thinking of, you know, ahead of time. You know, it's not, gardening is not instantaneous, certainly not, and you have to, you know, often have to plan and think many months ahead. So there we go. As always, I've rambled on far too long in this little video, and I just wanted to wish everyone a very enjoyable, happy, healthy October, as always, and wherever you are in the world or in the UK, good gardening, and I'll catch up with you very soon in another video. Until then, my best wishes, and thank you to everyone that comments and subscribes. I do love getting your comments, and for the new people that have subscribed to the channel, thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. And until next time, my best wishes, and bye for now.